everyone, this is Miss Tran, and that is my fiance in the back playing video games. But hi, David.
Talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
What happened?
I'm just saying hi.
Hi.
But basically what this video is all about is updating you guys on the changes that are happening this week, and also letting you know kind of how to navigate through Schoology on this online platform, because as you guys know, we're not going to be in school until May 6th. It's a really long time, and a lot of people are really confused on how to do the assignments last week and how to get started. So hopefully this video will help you guys kind of figure out some tips and tools on how to do things effectively while you're doing your assignments, but also answer any questions that you might have while you're doing those assignments. So keep watching if you want to look at almost like a focus lesson that will help you through your assignments, but if you feel like you don't need it, then you can just kind of skip this video. So you've logged into Schoology, now you're ready to start your assignments. The first thing that I need you to do is to click on this presentation link. It says read presentation and do the quiz at the end. Once you've clicked it, it looks something like this, right? This slide quickly tells you what the assignments are for this week, so it's just giving you a quick overview of what the rest of your week looks like. On the third page, you'll see some of the terms that you will need to do your assignments. So you need to know what mood is, what tone is, some figurative language or examples of figurative language, and what connotative diction is. I suggest you look through the terms and think about whether you know what these terms mean or not. If they seem familiar, you've seen them in the past, and you kind of know what they mean, you can just skim through the slides just to give you a refresher before you get started on those assignments. If you look at these terms and you have no idea what they mean or just can't remember, I suggest you actually read through each of the slides, because you're going to need some of these terms and need to know what these terms mean to be able to do a lot of the things you need to do for your assignments. So again, read them or skim through them at your own pace. When you finish, click on this link here at the end of the presentation, and it's going to pop up a mini quiz or a quick Google form survey, and you're going to just quickly do the survey right here before you hit submit, right? What I want you to notice is these asterisks mean that these questions are required. You have to do them in order to submit the assignments. So even if you don't remember what your email address is, you can just put I don't know, and that will allow you to submit the assignment once you're done with it. Once you've looked at the presentation and you've clicked this link and did that mini survey, the next thing you have to do is click this next button on the top corner of your screen. It's going to pop up this page, which is your do now, and you can do this at your own pace. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I want to keep this video short, but if you have any questions, just hop onto that Google Hangout and I can answer it there. So at this point, I'm going to hop onto the next assignment, which is called Number 3, read Raymond's front text. So that's exactly what you're doing. And while you're reading, you're going to notice that there are going to be red lines that cut across the page, because the story is broken up into 5 sections. And the reason is because your next assignment, number 4, is to write an objective summary of this text. So I would suggest reading the whole text first before you summarize it, just so that you know basically what happens throughout the story. But once you finish, a good idea is to open the next assignment in a new link. So you can right click if you have a computer or a mouse, or you can double click your mouse pad. This should pop up, and I'm going to open the next assignment, assignment number 4, in a new link right here, and it's going to pop up on the top of your screen. The reason why I want you to open this in a new link is because when you're summarizing, one important thing in order to pull out the main idea or central details is to be able to look back at the text while you're reading. So the first part of your assignment for number 4 is to summarize section 1. You need to make sure that the summary is 3 to 5 sentences, focus on the central idea of the story, leave out small details, and organize it clearly, the information that you read clearly. So this is where you're starting. This is the first section that you're summarizing. And while I am summarizing, I'm going to, again, look back at the section, just skim through it for some important details that I want to include. And so because I have these 2 tabs open, I can keep switching back and forth as I want to pick up new details, or if I can't remember a certain detail that I want to include. So this is just one method of doing assignment number 1, okay? As you summarize each section, remember, look between the two tabs, which will help you make sure that you're not missing any key details. So you can click between these two tabs as you're working. Once you're done with section 1, move on to section 2, and so on. But I also want to show you another method that might be helpful if you find switching between these two tabs kind of confusing. If you find that switching between two tabs is still a little bit cumbersome and a little confusing, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys something called split screening. So on my screen, I've simulated a keyboard for you guys so that when I type something, you can see what I'm typing. The first thing you need to do to split screen is to make sure that these two tabs are in different windows. So I'm going to take this tab, my objective summary document, and I'm going to pull it out here. All right, so if you have your Windows keyboard, a Windows keyboard or a laptop, then you're going to need 2 or 3 buttons. You're going to need your tabs buttons, which is right here, and your arrows keys, which are right here. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my text window, and I'm going to click the Windows key and the left arrow. And what this is going to do, what this is going to do is it's going to snap that window to the left section of your screen. Similarly, if you want to snap this to the right section, then you're going to click on that window, the objective summary document. You're going to click the Windows key again and then your right arrow. That way you have something called a split screen where you can see both documents at the same time. So as you can see here, I have my text on my left hand side and I have the summary on the right hand side. So instead of having to switch between two tabs, I can look at both documents at the same time, and it makes my workflow a little bit easier. It makes getting things done a little bit faster, right? So that's if you have Windows. You can achieve the same thing if you have a Chromebook, which most of you guys do. If you brought your Chromebooks home, it's the exact same process except with different keys. So to do the left hand side, you're going to, instead of using the Windows key, you're going to use the Alt key, all right? And instead of using arrows, you're going to use something called your brackets, which is right here. So instead of doing Windows left, you're going to do Alt left bracket, and instead of doing Windows right key, you're going to do Alt right bracket, right? So it's this first and then this. And if you also get really confused, I have a presentation somewhere that I'm going to upload for you guys just to let you guys know how to do this process again. Or if you can also rewatch this section of the video, but for Windows, it's Windows left and Windows right. Or if you have your Chromebook, then it's Alt left bracket and then Alt right bracket. Alright, so at this point we're almost done going over all of your assignments. The last two for this week is an analysis worksheet for the story you've been reading and a vocab quiz. So we're going to just quickly look at that so that you guys can see what it looks like, and I can explain it a little bit just so that you guys have less questions for me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to split screen again because you will need your text and even maybe your presentation for this assignment. So I'm going to do this and this. If you find that the words are too big and you're tired of scrolling back and forth because not the whole page fits, you can click something called Zoom. And you can click maybe like 75% and it should make everything a little bit smaller just so that it fits your half screen, all right? So the first part of your assignment is asking for you to find an example of each of these figurative language in the story that you're reading. So that's why I have my split screen up, just so that I can quickly go through it and look for examples of each. If you forget what these examples look like or are, I'm going to actually open up that presentation too, just so that I can look back at some of the terms and some examples on the last few pages. So look, there's simile, there's imagery, there's hyperbole, and there's personification, and there's some examples for you guys to look at too. But you're basically looking at one example of each, and I read through the text. There's actually multiple examples throughout the whole text, so there shouldn't be any shortage of examples that you're looking for, right? The next thing you have to do is, looking at this list, determine what the mood is of the text, and how do you know? find some connotative diction, so some words that are positive, some words that are neutral, and some words that are negative. And then finally, what is the tone and how do you know? You can pick from these list of words and you're going to type it here, okay? So the tone that is set in the story is blank because that's assignment number 5. And then finally, you have your vocabulary quiz. Let me get to that quickly. Oh, nope, not that. Week 2, vocab quiz, right? The last thing you need to do for this week is look at this word bank. This is the vocabulary words you had from last week, and you're going to try to fill in the blank. So all you need to do is try to figure out which word fits in here and type that word here. So if you think it's superior, you're going to type that. You're going to do that for the rest, looking at these words, and then you're going to click submit, right? So that's your last assignment for the week. Again, if you have any questions, you can pop into Google Hangout, or you can send me an email through Schoology right here, or through my school email. All right, so that's all for this week. I'll see you guys then. All right, so that's basically all I wanted to say. Even if you don't have any questions, again, that Google Hangout is there for you guys to come by and say hi. I miss all of you guys. I miss hearing your voices and seeing your faces. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys then. All right, so bye.